Hi guys, Leslie here. So the energies of September are a little squirrely, kind of turbulent. And when I was trying to just do a free read on it, it was just kind of wild energy. So I had to sit down and actually take notes. So I'm going to be reading from my notes for this one. So there's a lot of focus on our upcoming presidential elections in the US. And they're saying it's starting to ramp up and it's getting hotter, and Spirit is reminding us that politics is personal, whether you believe in it or not, or whether you even follow politics or not. It does impact all of us. So uh, this is kind of a three parts. So they're giving me some political predictions, which I've never done before. Then they're tying in the political with the personal energies of the month. And then they're going to be addressing how we can move through the energies of the month, especially as light workers. Okay, so where are we at here? Okay, I guess I'm starting with the predictions. So the first thing they showed me was a big red heart for both Trump and Tim Walz, and which I took as they're both potentially having some sort of heart issue in the month of September. And for Trump, it felt very worrying because he is running for the president of the United States. He's concerned if he looks weak at all that the Republicans are going to do to him what the Democrats did to Biden, and that they'll force him out and replace him with Vance or somebody else. So I feel pretty strongly that he is going to have a strong enough heart issue that he might go missing in action for a period of time, and that his team is going to try and cover up because they don't want him looking weak or, you know, not good to be having some sort of health issue while you're running for president. Uh, Okay, so that's with him. I'm not saying dying for either of the men, but just some sort of health issue related to their heart. So the next person, Tim Walz. Okay, with him, it feels more like a wake-up call and very much diet and stress related, especially from campaigning. He even said very excitedly about campaigning, like, we'll sleep when we die. And it was like a red flag. It was very alarming. I felt like, don't say that. Don't say that. So for him, I feel like it maybe a blood test comes back and the doctor's saying your blood pressure's out of control, too high, or you have a blocked artery, or so his is more a wake up call that he needs to make some changes if he's going to um, complete this campaigning season. And let's see what's next. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here. Oh, okay. So this ties into another thing that I have seen for a long time, that if Kamala Harris did become president, that Pete Buttigieg would be her vice president. So I am wondering if the Harris Walz ticket, if they do win the presidency, that Tim Walz will have to step down due to mounting health concerns, and she will replace him with Joe. I keep saying Joe. Sorry, Joe Biden. I'm not saying Joe Biden. I'm saying Pete Buttigieg. Okay. What's next here? And that could maybe even happen into 2025, something like that. Okay, the other thing, they showed me handcuffs, and this is related to Trump's upcoming sentencing on September 18th for I think 34 counts of fraud. And September 18th is the full moon lunar eclipse, a very powerful energy. Uh, so we'll just see what that means. But it didn't feel great. It wasn't like extreme, like see him behind bars or something like that. But there is going to be, I think the handcuffs mean some sort of punishment. Okay. Oh, and then I saw an explosion, and I think this is related to Israel. So I took that as literal, like another attack on in Israel or towards Israelis. And I also saw it as explosive politics around Netanyahu. And I'm wondering if something happens this month and he's stepped out, he's no longer um, having the political power they had before. And that also the explosion is sort of like the explosive U.S. politics going on. And a little bit of something about the Democratic National Convention. Now, I am doing this before, or just as the DNC is getting kicked off. You'll see this afterwards, so we'll know if anything happens. But I heard the word disruption, and I think that's going to be like pro-Palestinian protesters. Could be something more, but they showed me like a dark cloud, like a dark rain cloud. So it's sort of like they come into the convention, they're riding high, there's all this rah rah, cheer cheer energy, and then there's something that dampens and the spirit of what's going on at the convention. It felt very somber, and it felt like somebody passing. And I'm sensing that maybe it's a head of state or an elder statesman. So it could be a past, current, or would be future president. It could be a leader of a different country who we're very closely allied with. It could be elder statesman. It could like a senator or Supreme Court justice member. Uh, it's just a sense that there's a tower moment and that it would not be appropriate to have, so much excitement in honor of whoever is impacted by this. I'll just leave it like that. But by the time you guys are seeing this, you'll know if something happened at the DNC or not. But some sort of tower moment is kind of the sense I got. Okay, and then, so I think that's everything. I didn't get anything really much on the debate between Harris and Trump. They show me the number 2, and it's like, even though maybe they're on the same stage, but it was like they're both speaking to their own audience. So it was like the debate was forked. It wasn't so much between them as a moment to speak to their own audience. And it could be that they don't show up on the same stage and they actually do have their own political messaging to their own base. And it's not really much of a debate. Okay, so I think that's everything for the political stuff. So now I'm going to cause, I might have said my soft political predictions. Don't put too much value in those. We'll see. Okay, now the energy of September is about gearing up to take action, like setting goals and making positive changes in our life. And, people returning back to school, that sort of thing. Or kids are returning back to school unless you're in college, graduate school. But that's September energy. And they also kind of said in August, we were kind of tapping into our passion from a place of deep renewal. And now it's time to kind of bring our passion to the forefront and start setting goals around it, start taking action toward those things that are going to boost our motivation. And the moon cycle. So we've got a new moon in Virgo and a full moon in Pisces. And that speaks to me of taking like selfish yet practical action in service to others. So I would call that a theme of compassionate service. That's kind of the underlying energy of September. And then they were saying, but now there's going to be quite a bit of lower energies of the month, which may feel very, again, turbulent is the word that keeps coming up, turbulent and heavy. So these could be personal, but I also feel this is the energies of the political, and it might be impacting us personally. But just feeling trapped in fear and worry, heartache, loss, deception, envy, um, and possibly triggered by politics that feel like it's life or death, that kind of extreme feeling. And they're telling us that this is the spiritual challenge of September. So this is now kind of the third section here is if those are the energies that we're experiencing, this is how we are expected to handle them or being encouraged to handle them. So they said this is the spiritual challenge of September to be mirrored in these lower energies, and having the awareness of wars going on and seeing people fight over democracy. And so they're saying this is the challenge. You're going to be able to hold this turbulent energy. And they're showing me like a washing machine. We're just getting tumbled around in the energies. So like we're in a washing machine, and our job as light workers is twofold. It's a twofold mission. It's to stand in the truth of what's happening and accept it, not deny it, and simultaneously hold a higher vision of what could be the highest possible or positive outcome. So transmuting the lower energies to the higher energies of fairness, truth, and sovereignty, the higher energies that will uplift humanity. So we're being called into compassionate service by transcending all the craziness in the 3D reality that's swirling around us, and to rise above it and hold a higher vibrational frequency for all. Okay, and so that's pretty much our mission as light workers, to find a way individually to do that, to stand in the energy of what is and transmute it to the higher fire energies of what could be. Okay, so I think that's everything. All right, that's it for me. The September messages for all the astrological signs will be rolling out this week, so you can look for that. And just hold on to your hats, guys, for September. It's going to be a little bumpy, but I know we'll make it through just fine. So bye, and take care, and see you soon.